Hello everyone, Jeff with the Green Review. We're going to be reseeding this shady lawn. This lawn was seeded in the first place about 1.5 years ago in the spring on a different video. Now that we're doing the reseeding, it's a little bit different process. We already have a good lawn here, so why would we want to put more grass seed in? Well, there are thin areas in here, and I do recommend on a regular basis seeding into a lawn so that you get new varieties. Newer varieties of grass seeds are coming along all the time, and they're resistant to different diseases or drought or other problems. And so by continually adding a new grass seed mix, you will end up with a stronger, healthier lawn, especially when you've got a shady lawn that on a regular basis doesn't get enough light, and so it's slowly fading out. Adding new grass seed will help replenish it and fill it back in again, so that you don't end up with big bare areas and don't end up with moss and other things growing in there in those empty bare spaces. So we can get good grass plants back in there. Now, one of the things you want to look for on your packaging is to look for different cultivars of the varieties of grass that you've got. In this case, we have some creeping red fescue and perennial ryegrass as the two main ingredients, but they are from a shady lawn mix. They're from a shady lawn mix from Schultz from a couple of years ago that have specific varieties listed. Now, this variety, or this bag of grass seed, includes the creeping red fescue, but a different variety than what's in here. And it includes perennial ryegrass, which is in here, but this one, being a less expensive bag, doesn't include which variety it is. And that could be that there is no variety, it's just a straight perennial ryegrass species without a cultivar, or it could mean that they are buying leftover batches of different varieties and they don't know which one they're putting in at any one time. It just continually changes, and so by just putting in perennial ryegrass, then that's what they're getting. Then on here it does say variety not stated. This bag of seed also includes Gulf annual ryegrass. Now, the key word there was annual. These ryegrass seeds are going to sprout, they're going to grow for a little while, and then they're going to die because they're annuals, they're not perennials. We don't really want them in this mix at all. They usually will sprout faster than the perennial seeds, and so they'll get a good stand quickly, which might help the perennial seeds be able to grow in an area because they're kind of providing a mulch or a cover. But at the same time, they're competing for moisture and nutrients, and a lot of times people will stop watering when they see these annual grass seeds sprouting and thinking that the lawn is growing, and the good grasses haven't started yet. So this bag actually has 28.5% of an annual grass seed that I don't even want. It's going to grow, it's going to die, and that's it. I'm using this grass seed because of these other varieties that are in the other cultivars of the species that are in this mix. So what do you do to get this grass seed installed? On the grass seed, lawn that when it was brand new, you can rake in the dirt and you can change the grade and you can do all kinds of things to make good soil contact with the seeds. But in this case, we've got all this grass. The little dead brown grass blades in here are going to act as a mulch. We don't have to rake them out or get rid of them. There's not that much in here. So we do have some bare spots. We can rake into the bare spots, and the rest of it, the grass plants that are there are going to provide a little bit of shelter and a little bit of cover so that those grass seeds can stay damp and start to grow. We just want to keep the seeds damp like a damp sponge, not waterlogged and not dry. And so we do need to water. What I do like in the fall is being able to do this grass seeding after a rain. In the spring, if it's rained, everything is muddy, it's real hard to rake, it's hard to get the grass seed in there, so it's a mess. And so we don't want the water beforehand. But in the fall, we are coming right after a warm, dry summer, and so the ground is dry. And by having a rain, we are able to get the water down into the soil a little ways, so that when we start our sprinkling, we're not trying to re-wet the ground. We're able to keep the seeds damp on the surface and not have that water disappear quickly into the ground. So we do like to do this after rain. It rained yesterday, and so now we can plant the grass seed today. And that's really all there is just to keep it a little bit, raking in areas that are bare, spread it out over the lawn area, use new varieties whenever you can, and put the sprinkler on to keep it damp. And we're going into a cool season. These are cool season grasses. This is a northern lawn, and so by having 3 consecutive cool seasons to establish this grass seed, we will do much better than the spring seeding, which did perfectly well, but is a little thin now after 2 summers of dryness and a lot of shade. This is Jeff with the Green Review. Thanks for watching.